Hello, so tonight for our first recipe, I am going to make Cornish game hens for dinner. So what I have is, the recipe called for a lemon. I didn't have lemon, but what I do every week is I put lemons through my food processor, and then that way they are already, I've got the juice all ready to go. So I'm just going to put like a tablespoon of juice, and then it calls for 4 cloves of garlic. I've already done 3, but I just use fresh garlic every time. And just push it through, and then I use this little scraper because it's hard to get out. And then this also has a little tip at the end to pull out the smushed garlic. So then that way my fingers don't get dirty. I'm wearing a glove on this hand, 1 because I have a bad cut and I don't want it to get dirty, and then 2, I need to rub butter onto the chickens. So the first thing we're going to do is take the lemon juice and garlic and pour it inside the little chickens. So these, first actually what we're going to do is you have to take the wings, and you got to put the little tip underneath so that they don't burn, because if they get too hot they burn and then it smells really bad. So you put it underneath. And do that for each of them. The recipe also called for 4 chickens, but I'm only going to do 2. Alright, so we will pour half of it in this one, and the other half in this one. And then it also called for rosemary on the inside, so I'm going to take off my glove. Wash my hands. And then I'm just going to take about a pinch. It said to do a sprig of it, but what I do is I buy the organic fresh herbs, and I dehydrate them. Usually I get them when they're on clearance so that I'm not paying so much for them. And then I have great fresh herbs. This was done on Sunday, so these are nearly as fresh can get. And you just put a little pinch in each one. Alright, so then it says to, on the top, rub some butter on it. Yeah, see my cut? Yeah, it's pretty bad. I did it last week because I was cutting towards me instead of against me on a piece of meat, and it didn't turn out well for me. So, but lesson learned, and so I'm just going to rub it on since I have the glove so that it gets everywhere, because you have to put butter on it so that the spices stick to it. It was just a tablespoon of butter to go over both chickens. So, alright, now I can get rid of the glove. And I keep them right here where they're handy, so I'm going to get another one that's clean. And then we're going to put salt and pepper and some Italian seasoning on top. So I get my little salt cellar. I got this off Amazon. Not very expensive at all, and I love it because I can just get a pinch. I have these measuring spoons that I got from an Amish store, and they have little bitty ones. One says pinch, one says smidgen, so I just thought those were cute, so I had to have those. And then I just gonna add some pepper. And while I do this, after I do that, I'm going to add the Italian seasoning. I need the shaker. Sorry if you hear my husband coughing in the background. He's had that cough for months. Tomorrow we're going to the pulmonologist, so hopefully he'll get better soon. Alright, so what I'm going to do now is put it in the oven and let it bake for 20 minutes, and then we'll check on it and possibly cook it 15 more minutes. Alright, so that's in the oven. So when I mentioned that I dry the fresh herbs, I just take them off the stems and put them in the oven at 200 degrees. I'm sorry, 170 at 2 hours. So 170 degrees at 2 hours to dehydrate them. And if they're not all the way dry yet, then you can set them in there a little longer. Alright, so another thing that I'm going to do is, while I have time in between cooking and waiting for it to cook. So I like to make everything from scratch. I like organic produce. So what I did was I bought these scallions, and I keep them growing. So they're organic scallions that I bought, and then I just cut them down and they keep growing and growing. So that's what I'm going to do tonight while we're waiting on the food to cook. So I just chop it, because the top part is actually the chive. So instead of buying the dried out chives from the store, I just cut these up. Sometimes I dry them out, and sometimes I just put them straight into the freezer with the other chives that I've accumulated. They're real good on potatoes and other yummy stuff like that. So anyway, what I do is I cut to where there's still some of the white. So, and make sure you keep the root. So see how the root is, and then I don't know, a couple, 3 inches for the stem, and then they'll just start growing again. And I rinse out the water, and then I use filtered water from the fridge, because the chlorine in the water might kill it, so I always use the fridge filtered water. And I just fill it up, and then it'll start growing again. In about a week it'll be that long again. So I keep it up here, and we put sun on it every day. So then I just peel the dried part off, and then chop up the greens. Alright, so here's my finished product. There's not a whole lot, but it's better than nothing, and I've always got chives, and I've always got green onions when I need them, because they're always in the windowsill. Alright, so what I've done is we're going to have baked potatoes, so I've already scrubbed all these. I always scrub my baked potatoes. I don't like crunching into dirt. So what I'm going to do is just poke some holes in it. We're going to cook these in the microwave on the potato setting, and I'm sure everybody's done that. Just need to poke some holes, and then what I do is this is a tortilla bag, so you can heat tortillas in it, but it's wonderful for potatoes too. So not everything is fresh. I do use frozen vegetables because they're flash frozen, so their nutrients stay in. When you buy fresh produce like broccoli and cauliflower and stuff, the nutrients leave as they set out on the shelves, and then you bring them home and they sit in your fridge. And so if you buy them frozen, they're already flash frozen, so that's why I use those. And then you can cook in these bags, and then you just dump them in a bowl. It's pretty easy, laid back dinner. So we will chat whenever the chicken is done. So for the potatoes, we are going to include ranch dressing, and I also like to put on candied jalapenos. I don't know if you've ever had them, but they're very addictive. I will be canning some more this weekend, so I will have a recipe for that. But they're super easy, and they're super delicious, and you can water bath can them because of the acid. So I put those on top, and then we're also going to have some shredded cheese. And of course I'm out of sour cream, so won't have that, but that's what the ranch dressing's for. So, and then lots of butter. So I also make ghee, homemade ghee. It's a clarified butter, so it's shelf stable. So I'll probably put that on there. because I'm lactose intolerant, so it helps me to enjoy better. Alright, so I checked the chicken and it didn't reach temperature, so I'm going to cook it about another 30 minutes. But what I'm going to do is at 20 minutes, I'm going to start the potatoes, and then as soon as those are done, I'm going to put the broccoli in. So everything should be ready about the same time. Alright, so they came to temp, but what I did was I uncovered them, and I'm going to bake them while the potatoes finish cooking and then while the broccoli cooks, hoping to brown them up a little bit. While we're waiting, I just wanted to point it out that this rack, it's a dish drain, but it makes life so easy. It's made out of stainless steel, and it holds hot things, so it's like an extra counter space. But we use it all the time with our coffee cups that we just rinse out, or if the dishwasher's full and there's still dishes, then but I got it on Amazon, so it really has come in handy. I wish I would have got one a long time ago. One of the things about potatoes that I'd like to mention is that there are so many people who are against them. I've been against them for several years because it turns to sugar, but the good news about potatoes is the nutrition factor of the potassium. It helps people who have high blood pressure, which Tom and I both do. So I started incorporating potatoes again and bananas because I need assistance with my high blood pressure. So along with the medication, hopefully it will go down again. And if you limit it, everything is within limits, so you can't have them every single day, but once a week is fine. So it may not agree with a whole bunch of other nutritionists, and I am not a nutritionist by any means, but I do read and research and know that potatoes and potassium and bananas and potassium are good for you. So I just wanted to add that in. Alrighty, so we have our Cornish game hens, all nice and cooked up. We have our frozen broccoli that's nice and cooked up, and our baked potatoes. Now you can put the cheese on your potatoes, or you can put it on your broccoli, or you can put it on both. Just don't overdo it, because cheese has hidden calories, but it's so good. Alright, well, thank you for watching the video, and subscribe below if you liked it, and do a thumbs up too. Alright, thank you.